Hi guys, we're going to be working with CSS. I love CSS. I mean, HTML is great, but it doesn't make things beautiful. It's just a structure, right? But we're going to be looking at CSS. In one of the videos with HTML, we looked at styling, internal styling. So this is basically internal styling. It's not recommended to use this, but this was just to show you what is possible. All right. So there are two ways you can do real styling. So first will be internal styling, right? Not inline. This is inline styling. Basically where we style these elements, but we style them in the same document, so we are not creating a separate page. So we're going to do that first, right? So let's call this let's comment and say internal styling, internal styling. All right, so to do that we use a tag called style. So style. So every CSS we're going to write is going to be written here. But let me break this down a little bit, right? To style, you can style anything that is in a tag. So body, h2, li, ol. So we can style everything that we have that is an element in a tag. All right. So these elements you can beautify them. You can make them more beautiful. You can give them more color. You can give them more. They can make them look more fancy. So if we want to style them, we need to call their name. So if we want to style, let's say we want to change this, right? Or they want to change the color of that. So let's take this off, right? So let's take this completely off. So right now it's going to be a plain black stuff, right? So they're all the same. So if we want to style this, what do? We need to call the name. So we call the name. So the name is h1, right? Was it h1? Let's check. h2. So this is h2. So we call h2. Now we need to use the curly brackets, the two curly brackets, and right now we're not using the less than and greater than sign, right? Think about it that if it was HTML, h2 will be inside the tag, but for CSS, the styling is right outside the tag, right? So it's h2, the styling is right outside the tag, so we're not doing it inside the tag. All right, so we call the name of the element. The element here is h2. So we call h2 and then open curly brackets and close curly brackets, and we're going to write the commands for h2 right here. So to say color, we just say color, right? Remember, American color. Now we use a colon to define the color. With Visual Studio Code, you can pick any color here, or you can go online and also look at HTML color codes. We'll show you that in a bit. So I'm going to say blue just because it was blue before, and then you end with a semicolon. This is important, otherwise you can continue the statements. So when I save this, you can see that right now everything that has h2 has been colored blue. All right, the reason why this was colored blue is because this also has h2. So if we change this to h1, that would not be that color again. So this is beautiful, right? So you can color multiple stuff at the same time. Pretty awesome, right? And so color is blue. If we don't like the color blue, you can just touch on Visual Studio Code. Like when I touch this, I can see this and just change color, right? And automatically, it's pretty awesome, right? Change color. So if I use this and save it, it gives me that color. Okay, maybe it's not so obvious. And save this, you can see the color, right? So basically, that is styling. But what's awesome is that you can continue typing in the same place where you have h2. So let's say we want to increase the size. We don't like the size. Use something called the font size, right? We can make it as big as we want. So let's call this 30px. This is the font size, 30px. If I save it, it says bigger, right? So right now it doesn't even confine to the h2, h1, whatever, right? You can actually just make it as big as you want, which is pretty awesome. So if I make it 70, that makes it big, right? If I make it 40, it makes it smaller, right? So it can be as big as you want, right? It can be as styled as you want. So I'm going to bring it to 20 because I don't want it. Okay, actually, let's make it 30. All right. So that's ordered. No, not this. How about if you want to give it a background? You want to give the entire page a background. To give the entire page a background, it will not be inside the h2 tag. It will still be inside the styling tag, but we're going to style the entire body. Remember, anything in the tag can be styled. So body is in a tag. We will style the entire body. So we'll say body, and then Right now we'll give it a background color, so you can say background dash color, and let's call this background color bisque for now. You can see that it's giving it a complete and a different look, and it's giving it a different color, right? I normally like to leave my background white because I feel like, you know, it makes it easy for you to see what's going on, or maybe light gray or something like that, you know. But ideally black. Okay, now this is too light gray. Yep, but ideally black. All right, so let's leave it at this for now. Okay, you can do a lot of stuff. So this is outside the body, right? You can also give the entire body, a font type, or you can give it to the different elements. So for now we can say font family. Yeah, so that's the type, right? So these are different ones that have been pre-built, so you can save this, and it gives you different options. You can see it has changed that font type, but you sometimes need to have, the reason why you give alternatives is if you don't have that on your computer, you can, so basically depending on which computer is looking at it, you can decide what type of font type. So for instance, what you saw was basically just saying that if you don't have it, yeah. So let's do font type. Let's do it again. So font family. So all of this is saying if there's no trebuchet MS, then do Lucid Sans Unicode, and then do, if there's no Arial, do Helvetica or do sans serif, which is kind of like the norm most of the time, right? But if you have it, so most times I like Railway. If you don't have Railway, don't use it. All right. So it gives you different font types. All right. So that's basically like an introduction to styling. Internal CSS. In the next video we'll still go deeper into internal styling before we move to external styling. All right guys, try and style your page how you want, and let's see if you can make those changes in your git, and let's see what it looks like, and I'll see you in the next video.